early stage formulation is performed on nutritional, Ayurveda as well as personal care products, including skin moisturizer and cleanser. Where we are right now is called the Outer Nutrition Lab, and this is for anything that is applied on the skin. So personal care products are so, they're so unique and they're so different for every skin type. How does Herbalife, ensure that they are safe for all kinds of skin types?
Yeah. So for the personal care product, during the development itself, we do the different kind of studies. The one of such studies called is a pest test, where we apply this product in the lab in the single use as well as the multiple use for different skin types, like dry skin, oily skin, or the combination of the skin or the normal skin. And once the results are okay, then we go for the efficacy studies also to see whether how much effective are these formulation. And once these both the efficacy and the safety studies are done, then the formulation is available for the next stage.
So there's a two-step process.
Yeah.
So for 1 and 2, and then you go towards making a product.
Yes.
That's very interesting.
Herbalife's Outer Nutrition Labs follow rigorous testing protocols to ensure that each product is hypoallergenic, non-irritating and effective across different skin types.
We have arrived at our next stop, which is the GMP clean room. GMP means good manufacturing practices, and these are the cornerstone of ensuring that every product meets and maintains the highest standard of quality. Mr. Ashutosh, I want to know everything about the good manufacturing practices. I've heard a lot about them. I want to know them from you.
Yeah. So usually the unique feature about this R&D facility having the GMP lab also, where we do the product manufacturing under GMP environment.
Okay.
Now what is the GMP environment? GMP environment, the products are manufactured in highest level of hygiene conditions. So like we see, we are doing this exercise outside the lab. We are not allowed to go inside, because if we go inside, we carry all the dust particle and other things which will contaminate the environment.
Okay.
So this is the highest level of standard. We are maintaining it up, and once the product are manufactured in this lab also, it is fit for the consumer use, and which we are using it for the larger sensory for our consumers.
By the way, we're still not done with the testing. The next round of testing of products happened right here in the sensory booth. This is where they conduct the blind test of flavor, aroma, taste and texture.
In the sensory lab, a team of highly trained experts work to ensure each product's sensory profile meets strict standards. Herbalife uses this lab during its new product development process to meet the consumer expectation on taste. Coming up next, after the break, the weather in Bangalore turns funny. We experience hot, cold and humid conditions all in the same space. How? Keep watching to find out.
Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone or tablet. The NDTV app. News that matters to you. NDTV proudly upholds its legacy of trust and credibility. According to the prestigious Reuters Institute's Digital News Report 2024, NDTV is the top-most news platform in the country. Number 1 in both online and offline reach in India. Beating all its competition, NDTV stands for trust.
Hello and welcome to India Sense, where I speak with global opinion makers.
The United States has made a strategic decision over the last 20 years to move closer to India.
So a $7 trillion economy seems a perfectly conceivable number.
If you want to be a national party, it's that you sort of accept the way the world is rather than want to endlessly hark back to how it was.
Modi is promoting the digitization of the economy which is accelerating growth in the country.
हम ये चुनाव विकास के मुद्दे पर लड़ रहे हैं.
Let them come for an open debate with me. I've challenged Eknath Shinde multiple times.
Congress is in the worst situation in this state.
महायुति में भी इससे ज़्यादा dispute है.
Everything is fair in love and politics.
वोट देने वाले ही जिताने वाले हैं ना.
So we worked on 4 options.
I've been reporting on all issues, big and small, from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
India's IT capital is always buzz. It's literally a city that never sleeps. And I keep you ahead on all the Bengaluru buzz.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
In today's interconnected world, India's voice is more crucial than ever. When India speaks, the world listens. At NDTV World, we are that voice, bringing you intelligent and insightful news from India and beyond. From geopolitics and diplomacy to economic shifts, migrations, tech disruptions, and the stories of our diaspora. We cover the news that shapes our global future. NDTV World, your new home for global news, is here.
I now request the Honorable Prime Minister to launch NDTV World and address the summit.
It was the grand launch of NDTV World by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. NDTV World, as he laid out his vision for the India century at the NDTV World Summit.
ऐसी सदी जिसमें भारत के प्रयासों से दुनिया में स्थिरता आए.
In the presence of those who are shaping our future.
मेरी तरफ से आपको ढेर सारी शुभकामनाएं हैं.
NDTV World, your new home for global news, is here. Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the
Welcome back. You're watching Nutrition Matters and we are at the Herbal Life Nutrition Center of Excellence at Whitefield in Bengaluru. My name is Nayan and we've seen the state-of-the-art product development, sensory testing processes in place for all Herbal Life Nutrition products. Now here we are at the stability chambers. Sounds like a magical room that belongs to Harry Potter, right? Right now these chambers stimulate the environment, in fact 4 environmental zones, to mimic different geographies from around the world to see how the product holds up to various temperature and humidity conditions. And I'd love to go in and check out more. Mr. Ashutosh is waiting for us inside. Let's go. We're in the stability chambers, Mr. Ashutosh, and there's a lot of noise, but I want to know the unique features of the stability chamber.
Yeah. So in India, we are maintaining all the 4 different kind of stability conditions, and these stability chambers, the unique program or unique feature of this program is these 4 chambers are monitored continuously for its temperature accuracy as well as the humidity accuracy.
Okay.
All the chambers are set at different conditions as per the different geographic requirements for the stability. And if you see, if we go inside, we feel it. See, the kind of
hot. It's quite hot.
Hot and humid also.
Yeah, very humid also, right?
So this particular chamber is maintained for 25 and 60 degrees, which we call as a real-time study.
Okay.
So here we are storing the product for total 24 months. We have one more chamber which is running it at the higher temperature and high humidity conditions for the 6-month period to extrapolate the stability up to 24 months.
Wow. Let's check it out.
Yeah.
This is another chamber.
So this is another chamber which I was explaining it. It's maintained at 40 degree and 75. And if you go inside, you feel it.
Oh my God, it's even more hot.
So this chamber we are maintaining at 40 degrees centigrade and 75% humidity. So here the products are stored for the 6 months, and the 6-month data will give me the shelf life extrapolation up to 24 months.
So that means that every chamber has its story of how many months you would put in to see and test that shelf life that exists in the market.
Yeah, so based on the stability condition, the respective batch passes, based on that the shelf life study or shelf life of the product will be decided.
That's wonderful. That's very rigorous standards that you're maintaining here. As we move to the next floor of your establishment, Mr. Ashutosh, tell me about the philosophy of quality at Herbalife.
Yeah. So at Herbalife, globally we follow the quality philosophy based on the seed to feed policy.
Seed to feed.
Feed.
Okay.
The concept is, so whatever the ingredient I'm using it up in my product, at the farm level we qualify these ingredients. There the first level of testing happens it up. Once from the farm it reaches to the sorting area, the second level of cleaning and sorting and the quality testing will happen.
Okay.
And from the raw ingredient, once they make it some sort of extract or powder or something, and we have such manufacturing facility in our one of the China facility. Okay. So where again the third level of testing happen at the raw material level. Okay. Where again the material will be qualified and being tested for the specified specs only.
Okay.
Once this raw material has been delivered to my manufacturing site,
after 4 or 5 tests.
yeah,
okay.
Then fourth level of testing will happen, which we call as invert testing.
Okay.
Again, the raw material being tested whether it's meeting my specification or not.
Okay.
The third, the next level of testing will happen when these ingredients are mixed up to make a intermediate and finished good.
Okay.
There again the testing will happen, which is the fifth level of testing.
Okay.
Once the finished product is manufactured and packed in the container, the sixth level of testing will happen, which is the finished good testing, where we use the all sophisticated equipment. And this finished good testing comprises of the complete label claim requirement. Whatever I am declaring on the label, I am testing everything in my lab, and we are ensuring it whatever is we are claiming it is there in the product, whatever there in the product, it is
on the label.
Claimed also. After the sixth level of testing, we have one more level of testing, which is called post-market surveillance testing.
Okay.
In this testing, the product when it reaches to my warehouse or at the consumer end, from where we pick up the product again, and we again test it out for any testing for all the claim requirement, so that if there is any discrepancy happen during the transport, storage or other things, those are upfront known as we can take the right corrective actions. Now, all these different level of testings are happening it up, where it is happening it up. So globally, Herbalife, we have the 8 quality control labs.
Okay.
Those are all having the world-class infrastructure.
Okay.
Most of the testing we do in-house. And these labs are having the world-class accreditation system, which we called ISO 17025. The advantage of these accreditation system is any report produced by these labs are acceptable globally by any regulator.
The microbiology lab is where tests are run on raw materials, packing materials, and finished products for hygiene assurance, covering pathogenic and non-pathogenic microorganisms. The tests run here are for E. coli and Salmonella and a variety of other microorganisms that can contaminate a product or ingredient. We're now in the instrumentation lab, which has the most advanced analytical equipment available. They're actually sophisticated chromatographic machines that are used to such high precision and sensitivity that they could be used to analyze materials brought back from Mars. Mr. Ashutosh, some really complex and sophisticated machinery is seen here. Could you tell me how do these add to the nutritional profile of the product?
Each machine which is housed in this particular room is meant for the different kind of analysis.
Okay.
If we see these are the two equipments, one this and one back of this. These are the SPLC equipments which are meant for the vitamin analysis, the sugar analysis, those kind of stuff. The back side of this, so we have the UPLC systems also,
right,
where we do the same analysis in these equipments also. The advantage is we can do this same analysis in a faster time. So if here it is taking half an hour, it will take 10 minutes only here.
Okay.
Then we have a further advanced equipment, like we have the LC-MS, which is being used for the vitamin analysis. We can do the contaminant testing also, like melamine and so. And then the last corner of the lab, we have the GC-MS, MS and GCF. GC-MS is being used to identify in the product if we have some sort of different flavors are there. So this equipment can detect those flavors at very low level, and we can identify why my product is behaving in a different notes.
Okay.
Then the other equipment is used for the complete fatty acid profiling. Nowadays we see means how much is the cholesterol, how much is the trans fat or saturated fat.
Right.
So those all analysis we can do using this equipment.
Okay, these, like I said at the beginning, really sophisticated and complex machinery can be seen here. In this lab, Herbalife goes to great lengths to ensure product safety. Here, trace minerals and potential contaminant minerals are meticulously analyzed to confirm that every ingredient is free of unwanted substances. The ICP lab, or Inductively Coupled Plasma Lab, is dedicated to precise mineral content measurement. Using advanced techniques, the lab can detect even trace amounts of minerals, ensuring they meet exact specifications. Every stop on this tour ensures quality at a different step of the process. This is one of the earlier phases when the raw ingredients are tested for purity. This is done using a process called the Sanger sequencing method, which was developed by the Nobel laureate Frederick Sanger and NGS. Next generation sequencing, a faster and more accurate sequencing technology. And now for the last stop of our tour, our journey ends here at the Herbaria, Herbalife Nutrition's dedicated space for global collection of botanical samples. Now each of these samples represent a quality benchmark, ensuring the integrity of herbal ingredients that go into so many of their products. We can see some really interesting botanical samples here. Mr. Ashutosh, how do these serve as a benchmark for Herbalife?
So if you see, we have the two different kind of samples in this lab. So one, we have these samples. These are called the voucher specimens. These samples are collected by certified botanists. Then we have the second set of samples which are preserved in the jars. So the whole philosophy of keeping these samples as a display for this, and it will act as a reference sample also when we do the material qualification, following all the good techniques like genomic testing, the chemical profiling and the taxonomic profiling.
As we can see here, some of them are stems, the others are fruits. So we can see quite a combination of a lot of things. Thank you, that's very insightful.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on Nutrition Matters. Today, we saw the incredible science, dedication and passion behind every single Herbalife product. Now, in a world facing rising health concerns, it's reassuring to know that high standards are at work to support wellness worldwide. My name is Nayan, and I want to remind you to be sure to tune in next time as we talk about a number of Herbalife associates and members and understand what's next in health and wellness. Until then, make informed choices, stay healthy, and remember that quality is at the heart of good nutrition.
NDTV proudly upholds its legacy of trust and credibility. According to the prestigious Reuters Institute's Digital News Report 2024, NDTV is the top-most news platform in the country. Number 1 in both online and offline reach in India. Beating all its competition, NDTV stands for trust.
Hello and welcome to India Sense, where I speak with global opinion makers.
The United States has made a strategic decision over the last 20 years to move closer to India.
Now, a $7 trillion economy seems a perfectly conceivable number.
If you want to be a national party, it's that you sort of accept the way the world is rather than want to endlessly hark back to how it was.
Modi is promoting the digitization of the economy, which is accelerating growth in the country.
हम ये चुनाव विकास के मुद्दे पर लड़ रहे हैं।
Let them come for an open debate with me. I've challenged Eknath Shinde multiple times.
Congress is in the worst situation in this state.
महायुति में भी इससे ज्यादा डिस्प्यूट है।
Everything is fair in love and politics.
वोट देने वाले ही जिताने वाले हैं ना।
So we worked on 4 options.
I've been reporting on all issues, big and small, from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of maximum city is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
India's IT capital is always buzz. It's literally a city that never sleeps. And I keep you ahead on all the Bengaluru buzz.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
In today's interconnected world, India's voice is more crucial than ever. When India speaks, the world listens. At NDTV World, we are that voice, bringing you intelligent and insightful news from India and beyond. From geopolitics and diplomacy to economic shifts, migrations, tech disruptions, and the stories of our diaspora. We cover the news that shapes our global future. NDTV World, your new home for global news, is here.
I now request the Honorable Prime Minister to launch NDTV World and address the summit.
It was the grand launch of NDTV World by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. NDTV World, as he laid out his vision for the India century at the NDTV World Summit.
ऐसी सदी जिसमें भारत के प्रयासों से दुनिया में स्थिरता आए,
in the presence of those who are shaping our future.
मेरी तरफ से आपको ढेर सारी शुभकामनाएं।
Hello and welcome. You're watching NDTV. I'm Aarti Krishnan on upbeat Sunday, and today we're in fact seeing several meetings taking place. One in Delhi, one in Maharashtra as well after the elections. We'll bring you more on that. First, the headline. All-party meeting ahead of winter session. Parliament session starts from Monday.
यह संदेश है आधुनिक भारत, विश्व स्तरीय शहरों का। हमारे महानगरों ने विकास को चुना है।
Prime Minister Modi hailed Mahayuti's historic victory in Maharashtra. Prime Minister said the alliance aims to build the country and not just the state, citing development and popular schemes for the victory. Man of the moment, Fadnavis speaks to NDTV. At the Marathi conclave, Fadnavis slammed MBA over development and said that the most development has happened only under Mahayuti government. All eyes are now on Maharashtra as who will be the next chief minister is the big question. Fadnavis, who was the star in BJP's biggest win in the state, says the decision on the CM face will be taken jointly by alliance partners. Hemant Soren tides the anti-incumbency wave and retains hold over Jharkhand. Historic win in Jharkhand by Hemant Soren, most women elected in the history of the assembly.
Delhi police constable stabbed to death. Attacker has been killed in an encounter. 2 others have been arrested.
कोई भी कानून बनता है, उसकी वैलिडिटी है, उसकी वैधता है, इस पर निर्णय लेना ये तो कोर्ट का हक है.
Former Chief Justice of India, Chandrachud, speaks at NDTV Samvidhan Summit and says courts decide on the validity of laws and that they are duty-bound on rights issues. India amasses massive lead on day 3 of first test match of Border Gavaskar Trophy.
Should just be the single in the second innings, Australia.
A top focus, we're learning that the NCP meeting is underway. Remember, in Maharashtra, after the massive win of Mahayuti, the MVA now is conducting huddles as they are trying to deconstruct what exactly happened in this election. Now, this we're seeing, apart from what happened in the Lok Sabha elections, this time around, the BJP has proven to be a force to reckon with in Maharashtra. The Shinde Sena MLAs as well are set to hold a meeting today, is what we're learning. As of now, we're learning that NCP meeting is taking place. Let's quickly listen into these reactions coming in.
दादा किंगमेकरच आहेत ना. आता याच्यात काय शंका आली का तुम्हाला? महाराष्ट्रात सर्वात जास्त स्ट्राईक रेट राष्ट्रवादी काँग्रेस पक्षाचा प्रादेशिक पक्ष म्हणून राहिलेला आहे आणि अजितदादांसारख्या नेत्यांनी महाराष्ट्राचं नेतृत्व करावं ही सामान्य आमच्या कार्यकर्त्यांची भावना आहे. पण अर्थातच तो निर्णय तिन्ही पक्षाचे नेते एकत्र येऊन घेतील. उद्याचा शपथविधीचा दिवस आहे.
My colleague Anuj joins us with more details. Anuj, now 2 important meetings taking place, one of NCP and the other. We're also learning Shinde Sena MLAs are also going to be meeting. Take us through the NCP meeting that's taking place as of now.
NCP meeting started around an hour and a half back, and right now it is almost come to end. And the latest that we're learning from the meeting is that all the newly elected MLAs from NCP Ajit Pawar faction have chosen Ajit Pawar as their leader in Vidhan Sabha. You know, it was a formality, it was bound to happen, but then the procedure was followed today morning when all the elected members, along with all the other different leaders of the NCP, also made their way here to Devgiri, which is the official residence of Ajit Pawar, the Deputy Chief Minister of the state. And then they've all chosen Ajit Pawar as the leader of MLAs as far as the NCP Ajit Pawar faction is concerned in Vidhan Sabha, and that is the major update from now. At the same time, we are seeing that a little far away from here, 150 to 200 meters to my right, we have the Devendra Fadnavis's official bungalow where another meeting is going on. Of the Bharatiya Janata Party and other smaller parties there who are all meeting. And later in the day at around 4 p.m. we'll see that at Taj Land ends an important meeting of Shinde Sena faction will also be taking place. Now these meetings are mostly meant for as a formality's sake, where all of these elected MLAs are making their way to meet their leaders. Also, more importantly, in all likeliness, we're seeing that tomorrow might be the swearing in ceremony, although it has not been officially announced yet. But then we talked to a few insider sources from Shinde, Shiv Sena and NCP, and then tomorrow, because of course on the 26th, the deadline for the last government will end, so they'll have to change the government by then. So tomorrow, in all likeliness, it will happen at 1KD Stadium. So we can also look at these meetings as the way of the MLAs trying to put their case in front of the in front of their leader as far as their recommendation for any sort of ministerial position is concerned. But as of now, Ajit Pawar has been chosen as the head of NCP Ajit Pawar factions, of all those MLAs in the Vidhan Sabha of Maharashtra.
Thank you, Anuj, for joining us and bringing us those details. After Mahayuti's historic win in Maharashtra, posters of Fadnavis were seen all over the state as well. The Prime Minister called him Nagpur's gift to the country. And from corporator, he's likely to be CM in Maharashtra again. Here's a report on the man of the moment.
मेरा पानी उतरता देख मेरे किनारे पर घर मत बसा लेना. मेरा पानी उतरता देख मेरे किनारे पर घर मत बसा लेना. मैं समंदर हूँ लौट कर वापस आऊंगा.
The ultimate comeback man of Maharashtra, Devendra Fadnavis. The architect of the BJP and Mahayuti's historic victory. It's been a meteoric and dramatic climb up the political ladder for Devendra Fadnavis. From a corporator to becoming the youngest mayor of Nagpur, to the first BJP Chief Minister of Maharashtra. And he looks all set to occupy the state's top post for the third time. He, although, maintained that the coalition will decide the next Chief Minister.
सीएम पद के ऊपर कोई भी विवाद यहाँ नहीं होने वाला, क्योंकि पहले दिन से ये तय है कि चुनाव जब संपन्न होगा तो चुनाव के बाद तीनों पार्टियां मिलकर इसको तय करेगी।
उम्मीद से ज़्यादा कुछ मिला है?
उम्मीद थी बहुत अच्छा होने की, बहुत अच्छे से थोड़ा और अच्छा हुआ है, बहुत खुशी है। और इसके लिए कारण है हमारे भाजपा का एक एक कार्यकर्ता केडर, इसके लिए कारण है महाराष्ट्र, लाड़की बहनें जो जाग उठी, महाराष्ट्र जाग उठा और उन्होंने सोचा कि प्रगति किधर है वहीं हम जाएंगे और उधर मतदान करके उन्होंने ये रिजल्ट दिया है।
In a state dominated by Maratha politics and politicians, the 54-year-old Brahmin leader with deep roots in the RSS has carved his own space. Son of Jan Sangh and later BJP leader late Gangadhar Fadnavis, whom his fellow Nagpur politician and former party chief Nitin Gadkari called his political guru, Devendra Fadnavis cut his teeth in politics at a young age when he joined ABVP in 1989. At 22, he became a corporator in the Nagpur civic body and its youngest mayor in 1997 at the age of 27. Fadnavis contested his first assembly election in 1999 and won. There was no looking back for him as he won 3 subsequent assembly elections. He currently represents Nagpur South West seat in the House. Unlike many leaders across the political spectrum in Maharashtra, Fadnavis has remained untainted by accusations of corruption. After Uddhav Thackeray demitted office following the large-scale desertions in the Sena, many thought that Fadnavis would become the chief minister. However, the BJP leadership had other plans, and a reluctant Fadnavis swallowed the bitter pill to become the deputy CM.
मैं आधुनिक अभिमन्यु हूँ, चक्रव्यूह को भेदना जानता हूँ, हमने चक्रव्यूह को भेदा है और ये कोई मैं पहले भी कह रहा हूँ, वापस कह रहा हूँ, इस विजय में मेरा बहुत छोटा उसमें मैं समझता हूँ कि सहभाग है। एक ये हमारी जो पूरी टीम है, इस टीम ने इस विजय को लाया है।
Devendra Fadnavis arose as one of the younger, more clean leaders in the BJP, but he is not universally acknowledged as everybody's leader in the BJP. Quietly, BJP leaders, I spoke to many who have become MPs, quietly they do accept that he is the only person who can keep the BJP together.
In Maharashtra?
In Maharashtra.
Fadnavis has enjoyed the confidence of both Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah.
मोदी जी ने जो नारा दिया था, एक है तो सेफ है, इस नारे को यथार्थ में लाते हुए महाराष्ट्र के सभी समाज के सभी लोगों ने एकता दिखाते हुए महाराष्ट्र में मतदान किया है और इसके कारण ये इतनी अच्छी जीत हमको मिली है।
At an election rally earlier, Prime Minister Modi had said Devendra Fadnavis is Nagpur's gift to the country. Fadnavis's first tenure as the Chief Minister was characterized by a combination of good governance and effective political maneuvering. He also brings in the urban and young voters closer to the BJP.
As the BJP and Mahayuti celebrate their historic victory, Devendra Fadnavis stands as the man of the moment. In fact, as Mahayuti gears up for the road ahead, all eyes on Fadnavis as he is the man of comebacks in this highly complex political environment of the state. With video journalist Mahesh Halwai, this is Radhika Ramaswamy for NDTV.
Devendra Fadnavis also spoke to NDTV at the Maratha conclave. He slams the MV over development and says the most development has only happened under Mahayuti government. Listen.
इसके पहले की चर्चा में, मराठी वाली चर्चा में आपने दूसरे मुद्दों की चर्चा की, तो मैं दरअसल ये सोच रहा था और इस पर मैं आपकी राय जानना चाहूँगा कि महाराष्ट्र का रोल इस वक्त क्या है। भारत के लिए जो 5 ट्रिलियन इकोनॉमी डिलीवर करनी है, वो अगर होनी है तो महाराष्ट्र से होनी है। लेकिन जितनी राजनीतिक चर्चा ग्रास रूट लेवल पर हो रही है, उसमें आप अपना एक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, एक अर्बन रिन्यूअल और छोटे शहरों को बड़े शहर और गांवों को शहर बनाना, इसकी चर्चा आप ही लोग कम कर रहे हैं।
मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि हम लोग ये चर्चा करें, उसमें आपको कोई इंटरेस्ट ही नहीं है। आपको, यानी मैं व्यक्तिगत रूप से नहीं कह रहा हूँ, मीडिया को हमारे तूतू मैमे में इंटरेस्ट है। सुबह 9 बजे हमारे भोपू ने क्या कहा, उसका हमने क्या जवाब दिया, फिर और किसी ने किसको क्या कहा, आपको उसमें इंटरेस्ट है। देखिए, अब इतना काम महाराष्ट्र में हो गया, कोई उस पर चर्चा करने को तैयार नहीं है। आज आप देखते हो, मैं तो कई चैनल्स के कार्यक्रमों में जाता हूँ, उन कार्यक्रमों में 10 मिनट चर्चा विकास के ऊपर होती है, आपका एजेंडा क्या है उस पर होती है, और बची हुई 30 मिनट चर्चा ये राजनीति पर होती है। तो मैं तो, और एक सहज भी है, देखिए अगर विकास पर चर्चा होगी ना, मेरा दावा है हमारे विरोधी लोग चर्चा ही नहीं कर पाएंगे, क्योंकि हर चीज़ को रोकने का काम उन्होंने किया। बुलेट ट्रेन रोको, मेट्रो रोको, महामार्ग रोको, अटल सेतु रोको, एयरपोर्ट रोको, वाड़वन रोको, उनका काम तो रोको है। हमारा काम को ठोको, आगे बढ़ाओ, काम पूरा करो और तरक्की करो।
बहुत बढ़िया।
Now, 28-year-old Delhi police constable was stabbed to death allegedly by 3 men during a night patrol near Sant Ravidas Marg in Govindpuri, adding that an attacker was killed in the encounter and that 2 others were arrested. Remember, this comes just 24 hours after Union Home Minister Amit Shah had reviewed the law and order situation of the national capital in a closed-door meeting with top cops. My colleague Shreya joins us with more details. Shreya, in fact, before we go to Shreya, let's quickly listen into what the police have to say.
अब यहाँ कल कांस्टेबल की हत्या करी गई है, उनका भी कोई खौफ नहीं है, बट अभी तो एक को मार दिया गया है, उसका कुछ भी करके, लेकिन कोई खौफ नहीं है।
और इधर पुलिस पेट्रोलिंग ऑन अ डे टू डे बेसिस हो,
सब करते हैं, एनी टाइम ड्यूटी करते हैं। जब वो ड्यूटी से जाते हैं घर, जब फिर से आ जाते हैं, यहाँ पार्किंग है, कहीं छुप जाते हैं, उसका कोई खौफ नहीं है बस।
और पुलिस के ऊपर भी वो डर चला गया है कि पुलिस इधर जो पेट्रोलिंग कर रहे हैं उनसे भी डर नहीं।
अब बट तो यहाँ पर लाइट भी नहीं थी कल यहाँ लाइट 3 घंटे बाद आई है, तो यहाँ अंधेरा होगा, तो इसलिए उनको पता नहीं चला होगा ये पुलिस में है क्या, सिविल में है क्या है, तो इसलिए इन पे अटैक कर दिया गया।
Right, my colleague Shreya joins us. Shreya, now you've spoken to people on the ground as well. What are they saying in terms of Govindpuri as an area where these sort of incidents are taking place, especially now since law and order has become front and center in the national capital?
Right, Aarti, I am in Govindpuri, gully number 13. This is exactly where the incident took place, wherein a 28-year-old Delhi police constable was attacked and stabbed while he was on his nighttime patrolling duty. And these 3 men are in their early 20s, and they were in their drunken state. And of course, when the constable started questioning the whereabouts of these 3 men and started frisking them, that's when they broke into an argument, and soon one of the men took out the knife and stabbed him twice. He was left unconscious, and after almost half an hour, at around 5 in the morning, the incident took place at 4:45, and at around 5:30 he was rushed to the hospital. The doctor declared him dead upon arrival. And then of course later in the day, the crime branch along with local police officials investigated the matter, arrested 2 of these men, namely Krish and Deepak. They are merely 18 and 21 years old respectively. And the third man named Raghav, he got killed in the police encounter in Sangam Vihar. And this is the state of law and order here in Govindpuri, which you can see it's a quite hustling, bustling area. There's a residential area as well as commercial area. And here the residents feel a certain sense of insecurity, lawlessness, because as you heard from the local resident, he himself was telling that in this particular area, in gully number 13, there are rampant growth of liquor shops, and that is not the problem. The problem is that people are openly drinking in the daytime. They are smoking weed. There is not enough police patrolling as there should be, because understand that Govindpuri police station is highly understaffed. That is what our sources are telling us.
Right.
And this entire area has become such that people are openly indulging in illegal activities, and they feel like they are above law, and the residents feel a certain sense of insecurity and unsafe in this area, because it is quite tragic that a young police officer, constable, 28 years of age, he got stabbed early in the morning yesterday. Although the three of the accused have been arrested, the third one being killed in the police encounter in itself. Back to you.
Thank you, Shreya, for joining us and bringing us those details from the ground. I'm also being joined by Dr. Vikram Singh, former DGP. Thank you for joining us, sir. Now, firstly, after several shooting incidents in Delhi, now a cop being stabbed to death, and my colleague there on the ground also telling us that this area is notorious for illegal activities that are openly taking place as well. Can we now call this a law and order crisis in Delhi, sir?
Aarti, good afternoon. A killing of a constable anywhere in the country is bad enough, but to happen in Govindpuri, in the national capital, is cause of great concern and alarm. You are led by the Delhi Police Force by one of the most outstanding officers, who is the police commissioner. And of course, what Shreya has mentioned, that Govindpuri gully number 30 happens to be a hotbed of liquor and substance abuse. The youngsters who accosted Kiran Pal, who died before his time, my salutations to him and his family. But the manner in which he was stabbed, and those, Raghav, I saw the photograph, he seems to be a perfect deviant and one who is addicted to drugs and substance. And Shreya also mentioned that there's a lot of use of weed in that area, drunkenness during the daytime. I would certainly recommend greater police presence and patrolling. It is a cause of concern. It cannot be taken lightly, and a greater grip on those deviants and the bad character elements. Every police station in India, including Delhi, has 6 dossiers that maintains a list of all the bad characters, active list, wanted criminals, those who are underground. A drive has to be launched not only in Govindpuri, but the entire area. As one of the witnesses said, that there is no khawf, there is no presence. If the khawf is not there, the police works only on the presence and clear signal that there will be consequences if there is a crime. Killing a cop is the most serious of them, and rest assured, a cop killer cannot escape anywhere in the world, much less in Delhi. I do feel that a reward should be announced on those. Photographs should be published in important social media platforms and important places, and they should be hunted down like vermin.
Right, Mr. Singh, now another important point that my colleague also raised was the fact that in Govindpuri there was a shortage of police officers. Now that also brings in the question of, if there were more police officers, perhaps this incident wouldn't have taken place. Perhaps this constable was alone on a night patrol. Another thing is, this particular case will set a precedent for how people behave with police officers and then ensure that such incidents don't occur in the future as well, sir.
Aarti, let me tell you, this will be a precedent for both. For the police not to allow single constables. Kiran Pal, may his soul rest in peace, acted out in enthusiasm. But I would say this enthusiasm would have been much better utilized had he had company of other colleagues. That did not happen. He accosted the youth, not realizing that they could be armed, he could be stabbed. But yes, as all youngsters in the force too, I would say that there has to be greater presence, there has to be more professional arrangement, more CCTV cameras, more night vision devices, and yes, a greater grip on those. And the lessons to be given is that these women have to be stamped out like you snuff out a cigarette butt under the heels. You may feel that I'm using very harsh words, but this is what I have done for 36 years. There is no other language which these hoodlums understand, that you have to be absolutely merciless. My generation of police officers, that you have to be half butcher and half human when you accost people like Raghav and them.
Right. Thank you, sir, for joining us and sharing your thoughts on this development. Shifting focus now, it's in the middle of the winter, so the IPL season's biggest fix is announced every year, the IPL auctions. This time it's bigger because the auction is mega and 500 plus players are going under the hammer over 2 days. My colleague Rika Roy has all the details. Take a look.
In the middle of the Perth test, when India has taken a humongous lead, comes the IPL season 18 auctions. The ball for the season will be set rolling with the mega auctions that are taking place in Jeddah over 2 days, over Sunday and Monday. Now talking about what is going to be in store over the 2 days for all you IPL fans, 577 players will go under the hammer, of which a chunk will of course be Indian players, 367 Indians and 210 foreign players. Remember that a lot of franchise had retained players before coming into the auction. A maximum of 6 players were allowed to be retained by every franchise. So 46 players have been retained by the 10 teams. A total of 250 players will be bought, which means 204 more players will be bought at the IPL auctions. So far as the big names are concerned, we will see the likes of Rishabh Pant, KL Rahul, Ravi Ashwin, Shreyas Iyer in the auction pool. We shall also see the likes of Yuzvendra Chahal, Mohammad Shami, Mohammad Siraj go under the hammer. Among the foreigners, the big names are David Warner, Faf du Plessis, Glenn Maxwell. All of them will be in the auction pool when the auction takes place in Jeddah over Sunday and Monday. The marquee players will go under the hammer first, and the proceedings will start at 3:30 p.m. India time. Each team has a prize purse of 120 crore, and after player number 116 there will be an accelerated process of auction. Punjab Kings has the maximum amount left in their auction purse. They will go into the field of auction with 110 crore rupees. Rajasthan Royals has the minimum with 41 crore after the retentions they did. The size of each squad will be between 18 and 25, so expect to see a lot of hectic activities taking place over the 2 days. And the franchises will also be allowed to use the right to match card, which means if a player has gone into the auction pool which belonged to a franchise, after the auction process is over, they can use this card to retain the players. So lots of interesting dynamics coming up in the IPL auction over the next 2 days. Stay tuned.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Edge 50 Pro. World's first AI-powered pro-grade camera.
Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone or tablet. The NDTV app. News that matters to you. NDTV proudly upholds its legacy of trust and credibility. According to the prestigious Reuters Institute's Digital News Report 2024, NDTV is the top-most news platform in the country. Number 1 in both online and offline reach in India. Beating all its competition, NDTV stands for trust.
Hello and welcome to India Sense, where I speak with global opinion makers.
The United States has made a strategic decision over the last 20 years to move closer to India.
So a $7 trillion economy seems a perfectly conceivable number.
If you want to be a national party, it's that you sort of accept the way the world is rather than want to endlessly hark back to how it was.
Modi is promoting the digitization of the economy, which is accelerating growth in the country.
हम ये चुनाव विकास के मुद्दे पर लड़ रहे हैं.
Let them come for an open debate with me. I've challenged Eknath Shinde multiple times.
Congress is in the worst situation in this state.
महायुति में भी इससे ज़्यादा dispute है.
Everything is fair in love and politics.
वोट देने वाले ही जिताने वाले हैं ना.
So we worked on 4 options.
I've been reporting on all issues, big and small, from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital, Mumbai.
India's IT capital is always buzz. It's literally a city that never sleeps. And I keep you ahead on all the Bengaluru buzz.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
In today's interconnected world, India's voice is more crucial than ever. When India speaks, the world listens. At NDTV World, we are that voice, bringing you intelligent and insightful news from India and beyond. From geopolitics and diplomacy to economic shifts, migrations, tech disruptions, and the stories of our diaspora. We cover the news that shapes our global future. NDTV World, your new home for global news, is here.
I now request the Honorable Prime Minister to launch NDTV World and address the summit.
It was the grand launch of NDTV World by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. NDTV World, as he laid out his vision for the India century at the NDTV World Summit.
ऐसी सदी जिसमें भारत के प्रयासों से दुनिया में स्थिरता आए.
In the presence of those who are shaping our future.
मेरी तरफ से आपको ढेर सारी शुभकामनाएं हैं.
NDTV World, your new home for global news, is here. Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Edge 50 Pro. World's first AI-powered pro-grade camera.
Every day, lakhs of deliveries make their way to customers' homes across India, bringing convenience at our doorsteps. But with this ease also come inevitable consequences for the environment. Lakhs of deliveries means mountains of packaging waste, thousands of vehicles on the road, and extensive energy consumption, all contributing to a supply chain that is not sustainable in the long run. This calls for an urgent need to work towards circularity while creating a future that values responsible growth and environmental care. With phenomenal growth expected in the Indian e-commerce landscape, it is incumbent upon the industry to integrate sustainable practices into their operations. In fact, e-commerce in India is uniquely poised to lead the sustainability charge, not only contributing to global environmental goals, but also meeting the evolving expectations of consumers who prioritize both convenience and environmental responsibility. Recognizing this reality, Flipkart Group has taken the lead in creating a roadmap to a sustainable future. Today, we look at how one of the major e-commerce entities in the country is changing industry practices, not only through its own operations, but also through collaborations that involve key partners, especially the consumer. For 17 years, Flipkart has been India's homegrown online shopping platform, a go-to destination for millions of us for our every need, big or small. Behind the two-dimensional world of the online market lies a whole world of operations, from partnering with brands and sellers to warehouse, storage and inventory operations to order processing and packing, and then finally making it to your doorstep, often traveling hundreds and even thousands of miles. The Flipkart Group has been at the forefront of India's digital revolution with over 14 lakh sellers and a registered user base of 500 million. Hand in hand with their rapid growth has come an enormous sense of responsibility.
So when you do this, when you bring market access opportunity for sellers, small businesses, and bring more convenience to consumers, you grow consumption, right? And when you grow consumption, it also has a material impact on the environment. So one of the thinking that we have, which is very woven in our DNA, is how do we make sure that our consumption driving philosophy, which is growing the economy, growing the opportunity for people, it's done in a manner which is less impactful on the environment.
It is that thinking that was at the heart of the Sustainability Action Summit, a platform for Flipkart's vision of adopting sustainable practices across all aspects of their operations, but always in partnership with other stakeholders who share that vision.
Fundamentally for me is how do we move 100% renewable, 100% electrification of our vehicles, how do you make sure that packaging is green packaging coupled with zero waste, zero water and zero to landfill in the entire supply chain. That's a green supply chain is what I would dream of.
So I think the biggest core idea that drives all of us is that businesses don't exist in isolation. They exist for the planet, on the planet, for the people around us, right? That the customers that we serve, the communities that we exist in. And that's essentially the idea that drives all of us to make a very meaningful impact on the environment around us.
Flipkart's believe that the transition to a more sustainable world cannot be achieved in silos, is what drives its three-pronged approach to its environmental commitments, executing for their own business operations, collaborating with their brands and seller partners, and informing their consumers.
It's going to be very, very important and crucial for corporates to imbibe sustainability in what they do and look at what is happening in the world, look at how the regions are coming with policies.
For the Flipkart Group's own business operations, sustainability is not a mere afterthought, but a fundamental part of every operation, intersecting with every aspect of the company's value chain to drive meaningful change.
When you move products from sellers to consumers through the supply chain, how do you make it greener? How do you make that journey of picking up the products more sustainable? Or warehousing itself. When you run a warehouse, is it sustainable warehouse? And when it is delivered to the consumer, is the last mile also sustainable? So you start thinking about where all you can make active intervention and build right partnership, because partnership is very important when you talk about sustainability.
To bring sustainability across its business operations, the Flipkart Group has focused on 4 aspects: the switch to renewable energy, the transition to electric mobility, sustainable packaging, and improving resource efficiency.